There it is. There it is, right there. You can see it. You can barely see it. The clouds rode in. They covered up the moon, is what they did. Totally covered it up. They just covered it up again. They covered up the moon again, you all. Can you see it? Let me see if I can get this on here like this. Gina, you got to get this moon. I'm trying to get this moon, you all. I am. I don't know what they're doing with it. If you're just tuning in, this is my third time trying to get this moon up here. Because somebody said, Gina, did you see the moon? Did you check in the clouds to cover up the moon? And they're rolling in the clouds. I don't know when it's going to break. I really don't. I don't know when this moon is going to, Lord have mercy, Gina. You got to get your act together. I don't know when the moon's going to break. I tried to get the sun because the sun, there's something going on in that sky, in the eastern sky with the sun, you all. There is. All the while I thought I was recording with my new camera, going live, good morning, to try to catch what's going on over here, it would not do it. There's something else in the sky with the sun. And first, here's what happened. I had some blue in the sky. There was blue. I promise you there was blue. There was blue in the sky 3 minutes ago. It's all gone again. And there was like those ripple lines going all the way across. Well, not ripples, like horizontal lines going all the way across. And I could see it's so super bright in that sky right now. But they brung in these clouds. They brought in the clouds to hide what is in the sky, is what they've done. And it really makes me upset that my camera, they would not connect it. It would not let me connect to the internet at all, my new camera. Because if I could have done that, I would have had some good footage. I thought I was recording, and they're cutting my connection. They're cutting my connection, you all. There's something going on up there, and this again, there is an eerie silence still in the air. There's a silence in the air. See now, you see this bright light over here? That's not the sun, because the sun is supposed to be right here. The sun is supposed to be right there, because I just filmed it. I thought I was filming it live, and it didn't. Not one single iota. Not one single iota did they film allow me to connect at all. Nothing. You tried to take pictures of the moon, and the moon kept moving out of view. That's right. Someone else tried, and it did the same for them. That's right, because there's something going on with the moon, and there's something going on with the sun. I know that I have extended connection at the end of my porch right there. Stop disconnecting my connection. I don't like it. They're disconnecting my connection. I know I have connection right there. As far as I know. See that? It does not want me to take one step. Oh, now it's letting me take a step. Now it's letting me take a step because there's nothing to see. Because they've got the sky. So you see those ripples? Those ripples are not natural. They're not, and I really don't. They're not, and I really don't think that they're harp. I'm not saying there's not harp up there, but these ripples. Something else is making these ripples that are in the sky, and I really think, part of me think it's a certain type of a life form or something. I really do, because they're hiding something. They are hiding something. You know, I was looking at a memory. What was it? 10 years ago today that I had written on the face. Lie, more or less, may help in the present moment, but it has no future. A lie does not have any future whatsoever. When you tell a lie, there is no future to that. Can you hear the silence? It's eerie. It's an eerie silence, and you know the animals sense it. That's why they're not chirping. They sense something is off, and it's affecting them too. Something is coming, and we all can feel it. Something's coming, you all. And it's coming fast. It's silent. I haven't looked at the sun lately, but I can certainly make a trip over to the sun today and examine what you said is a mega flare. You know what more and more people are saying the enemy is? They're saying it's AI. And if it's AI, it's an alien intelligence that has taken over. But who allowed it? Who brought it in? It is crazy. It's so crazy. You've heard that they had cloud making machines. I heard that when I was a young little girl, I think in my 5th grade class, we had a science teacher, and his name was Mr. Flinch or French or something. He rode a motorcycle. I can't remember his name anymore. And he was saying something about the clouds. He said they make the clouds, is what he said. And I remember him saying that one day. And then I remember the next day, when I went to school, he was killed in a motorcycle accident on his way to school. Oh, his name, Mr. Creech or something. I can't remember his name. But yeah, I don't like the feeling in the air, you all. I don't. You probably don't like it either. Yeah, solar panels. I think solar panels are good, but then what happens when the sun doesn't shine? What happens when that happens? You got nothing. You know, you can prepare, and it's good to prepare, but when you're preparing for certain events, it's kind of sad when those events don't happen, because what you prepared for, you may not be able to use. But it's okay. There's nothing we can do about it, you all. So if you're just tuning in, there is a silence in the air. I was going to use my camera right here, and I was going to zoom right up there. The moon, it would have been a perfect, perfect shot. By the time I went in, got my camera, set up my tripod, in 2 minutes, they covered it completely up. And I said, thanks a lot. And then I got my other camera that I just bought. I'm going to do live Wi-Fi. Nope, nope, it did not even register one single bit. It's a game. Storage is the game. Um, are you all feeling it too? You feeling that something is off in these skies around the world? Because now some of the birds are deciding to chirp. And do your skies look like this? Okay, what's that over there? I believe that there's objects moving around behind these other types of clouds, and this is their cloaking. This is somebody's making these clouds to hide the movement in the sky, is what I think is happening. And that may sound far-fetched because you get total whiteout. Total whiteout. It's a thick layer. I don't really want to spend too much time outside because I think it's affecting, gives me allergies or something. That's right, there's hardly any birds, you all. There's hardly any birds at all. That's all right. We'll bide our time and we'll just wait. And wait with a knowing on the inside. Wait for that other shoe to drop because something is amiss. And see the birds even over here already fed my husband, already fed in the morning, early. There should be lots of birds out there. Really should. There should be lots of birds out here eating the bird seed that he just filled up and pecking on that. But there are none. None, you all. What's going on? Normally the blue jays would be out there. There would be squirrels. Nothing. Nothing. I wonder what the birds sense, and I wonder what the animals sense if they could talk. And I know they can talk, and some people can talk to them. Like, you know, you have the dog whisperer thing. Yeah. And whatever's in the sky, this is what they do, and you know they do it. Whatever's up there, it will do its movement, it will disappear, and when it does, then they'll take away the covering like that. Then they'll take it away, is what they'll do. And you know it's really clear above here because I can hear an airplane up there, you all. I can hear an airplane. It's gotten very chilly too. I don't know if it was that chilly when I came out. Well, it's 60 something degrees now, is what it is. The humidity's super high. Your mom always said, watch the animals because they run from danger. Your bird feeders have hardly been touched in Nashville. They're updating the moon. I've not heard of that before. I'm in Salem, Indiana, in the United States. I guess they're sending me a signal to shut up. That's what they're doing. They keep disconnecting me, is what I think they're doing. Well, sorry. I'll be quiet when I'm meant to be quiet, okay? And then no time sooner. You all could even be looking at a black screen. Hopefully you're not. I'm just standing right here on my porch. That's it. Just standing right here. I'm just trying to document what's happening in the sky because something's happening. There's something else in the eastern sky, something massive over there. And I think that that's right, Mandy, honey. When they do that, they literally disconnect the feed. Totally disconnect me. Because something's there. Something's going on, you all. Behind the scenes. And if something's going on up here in the sky, then something else must be going on Earth too. Something big is happening on Earth somewhere is how it works, because what happens up there, there's like a corresponding effect on Earth. Something else is taking place right now, and I don't know what it is. I haven't read the news. I don't watch the news. I don't see any headlines because I rarely ever look at them. Maybe I should look at them. I'm going to try to walk over to there to this camera. I really am. Yeah, they keep knocking out the feed at times. And you think it's AI doing it? You think it is? It could be. It really could be. Um, I guess if I had, my device hooked up to a cord, an HDMI cable, a hard, um, connection, it wouldn't be so easily to disconnect it, you think? Where I think the plasma thing is always there, you just can't see it. Um, and it could be with the dark plasma. The dark plasma, it fights so hard to come into this realm. It does. With the other lighter plasma, I don't really know how it does what it does, but at times the dark plasma, in some of the wet plasma videos, the plasma spikes itself up so much, certain colors of it, and when they do, you can see a black hole, literally a black hole like this, beginning to form. And their goal is, the other plasma's goal, who are working so hard to open that up, their goal is to bring something through and keep it open enough to do that before it collapses in on itself. Um, yeah, it's an eerie silence in the air, a very thick covering on the sky because something's going on. Oh, there's going to be a massive shift in the earth. Everything, everywhere is culminating, building up and environmentally, socially. It is. You all please give this video a thumbs up. I think that has something to do with the videos that I share. If you give a thumbs up, if there's a lot of thumbs up, I think maybe it triggers the algorithm, because my channel truly is shadow banned. It is, because of the topics that I cover. Even though there's nothing wrong with my topics, it's they're topics that are way off the beaten path of the mainstream topics. And it causes people to think outside the box and expand, into other areas. The things that I share, see, they're allowing some of this to come through. They are. I'm probably going to go. I just saw something go across. I don't understand why the birds are not over there eating. He just filled it up. He's on a routine every day, my husband is, with the feeding of the birds. And they're not out there. And it's not because I'm out here. It's not. Okay, I see one flying over. I see two flying over. I've seen some blue jays fly to the trees. They keep disconnecting me, but they're very quiet. They're very quiet, you all. When they do that disconnecting, they drop people off the live stream, is what they do. They break connection. They sever the connection. And if you were if you were going to conquer a civilization, you'd want to divide. You really would want to divide in any and every mean possible. You would want to sever any form of connection. And if you could splinter people into small groups, that would be a goal. You would cut off their water supply, their food supply. You would make it very hard for them to move around and connect. You would. You would do it all. And I find it quite strange that the Camp Lejeune thing shows up in a comment, shows up, the water pollution shows up on the Facebook every other post. Camp Lejeune, a lawsuit against the contamination that knowingly went on for years. Good morning, Susan, honey. Went on for years, and it was the water. And the people who were commenting, they didn't understand how could this be allowed to go on for years and years and years with our troops. But see, there is a bigger picture here. Because Earth is not alone. We are not alone. There are other species on this Earth, and they don't really like humanity. They're not. And they're working against humanity. And they have literally weaving their ways. They're weaving themselves into every echelon of society, every place to where they could get a foothold. I'm going to attempt to try to walk to this side of my porch. I am. Um, I don't know if they'll disconnect me or not. They weave in their way, and they're like pawns on a chessboard. On a chessboard. And let me just say this. Have you noticed lately? I mean, very recently, within a week, reorganizations inside of companies, out with the old, in with the new. A lot of people forced to retire. Have you been noticing that? They're getting the people put into place, is what's happening. People are being put into place for this new world that we are speeding straight to, this new world, this new way of doing things, this new life. People are being forced to get out of those positions because they do not agree with what these companies are going toward. You've been noticing it. It's happening. It's cascading all over the place. The whole government of Japan resigned. There you are. Something is coming, and it's coming fast, is what's happening. Really fast. And we don't have much time. We don't have much time. And you may see the day, you probably will see the day when the internet goes down, and cell phone services don't work. But until that day comes, we've got to keep going. We got to keep pressing on, you all. We really do. Yeah. The media is quiet about it. Torsen field, with it's connected to our consciousness, Jaquita, honey. You remind me of the little girl Jaquita, who lived next to us in Maryland. And she had a little brother named Ray, and she had a older sister named Markia. And I remember little Jaquia and her brother Ray, they get in the back of our pickup, where I have seats and stuff, and we'd go to the elementary school where I was a teacher assistant, and I would help out in the classes also. And Jaquia couldn't read. Nobody knew it. The teacher didn't know it. She would ask Jaquia to read, and she would stumble over her words, and they thought, well, this girl's just way behind. She don't know how to read. But come to find out, Jaquia, she was in the same grade as my son, second grade. Her eyesight, she told me she couldn't read. She can't see, that everything is blurry. And I told her teacher, and her teacher just cried. And I cried too, because she thought Jakia was slow. And she went to the school nurse. They did an eye exam, and her eyes were horrible. And they called her mother, and her mother took her to the doctor. And they got glasses. Her glasses were that thick, you all. But up until that time, yeah, and she was so happy. She was so happy. She was. But that, yeah, your name reminded me of Jakia. She was a sweet, sweet little girl. She was. Her mother was a single mother in the military, raising 3 children. Yeah, her mother felt really bad too, because she didn't know. Yeah. But you all, something's going on. There is great change taking place. The whole government of Japan resigned, um, and companies are forcing out the top people who've been there for years. It's time for regime change, you all. They're getting a regime change is what they're doing. Um, that's what's happening. Yeah, I had some really good times volunteering in all the classrooms when my children was little, until I pulled them out in middle school, because the school system was really bad in Hawaii. They were the worst school system on the thing. So I homeschooled my children after that, and they went to college and all of that. Lisa, honey, yeah, share your sources, you all. Well, we know that there's a song, you take what the enemy meant for evil and you turn it for good. It is true, that does happen at times. Um, and then if you believe in the yin yang, that's real. I don't like it, but it seems that, yeah, the yin and the yang, or the good and the bad in a world, it takes them both to try to bring balance or harmony or something, you all. Yeah. So my toes are getting cold, even though I'm walking. And it's quiet out here. It's real quiet. These peaches, they look like the bugs got them. This is a dwarf white flesh peach tree. And they're kind of big. We didn't thin it out. We planted it when we moved here. Okay, the birds are now. What if something was in the sky moving around, and the birds sensed it, and then whatever else was happening, when they start chirping again, maybe that whatever it is, that presence is gone. The crickets are out again. The yeah. Well, I can't dance if I don't feel led within my spirit. I can't. Because then if I feel like I'm being forced to dance, then I'm not going to do it. I won't. Because I don't like to be forced to do anything. I don't. I'm just being quite honest. I don't like to feel like I'm obligated. But certainly when I do feel like dancing, I will dance spontaneously. I will. And I'll love it. I'll enjoy it immensely. I will. You all, I am going to go. There's a quietness in the air. There is a stillness in the air. So with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Look at the leaves. It's like something's blowing in. Love you. Good night. Tea, honey, milk, honey, lemon, egg for skin and hair, 10 minutes before your shower. Okay, tea, honey, you got to go to bed. Thank you, Susan. Love you all.